I don't know. I feel like they can go. I actually feel like Na'Vi can go aggro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, okay, that's what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yep. I feel like aggro's the play.
Last pick for EG.
It is. Aggro was something people were doing a lot versus like the bounties and Night Stalkers,
Yeah.
so could definitely be an option.
Sand King
And it will be the Sand King. Wow.
Some
Okay.
extra team fight for them.
Suma1L Sand King.
Suma1L
That's
Sand
not a look
Not a
that
lot
we've
of
seen.
play. Not played a lot at all, right? I feel like I
Right.
haven't seen him play Sand King at all. Huh.
Do you feel like that's a... What are they doing?
So
Are they
Sand
going to
King
try and
bounty
isolate? Are they going to try and isolate the Sand King and the Tide?
I think they want to have the 1v1 matchup.
Yeah. I think that if they get, again, we saw in the last game, I wasn't certain about it when they did it, but EG really dictated the laning configuration and were able to play the game that they wanted, right? And I think they're trying to do this again with the Sand King pick. I kind of like that.
All right, one thing to look forward to for the Na'Vi fans. What are we hoping for if we want to see game 3?
Lots of team fighting around Ravage and Exorcism. I think they actually have a much better shot in this game.
If they get ahead and can 5-ban, I like their chances a lot.
Well, that is promising because that should be a very exciting game with a lot of 5-man Dota going on if it's up to Na'Vi anyway. Let's head over to a commentary team of Gods and Scant.
Here we are with game number 2 of our best of 3, fighting for a slot in the semi-finals of the playoffs. Top 4 for the winner of this. EG up 1-0. And here's our game 2 draft scan. What's your kind of initial read on what the teams are pulling out here? Have Na'Vi kind of adapted, or do you not feel like they have enough?
I mean, the adaptation for me is more about the laning stage than the picks. So I want to see like where they put the emphasis when they're laning. But you and I were talking about before. The panel was saying that, yeah, Na'Vi can win team fights this game. Definitely they can. But they have really big cooldowns. And when they use their cooldowns, if they don't get a big advantage, they're going to be in huge trouble because EG can really punish them, take a lot of towers while his ultis are down. So I think again it's going to depend on them getting those fights. And we did see in the last game that they had that Naga combo, but they still didn't really quite get the fights they wanted. So I'm not too sure.
And it feels like EG are a team who are very experienced and good at fighting around those big ultis and big cooldowns. Not just making sure they don't take big losses when those ultis are used, and more importantly is punishing when they're down.
Yeah, in this game, it's not just that EG don't depend on those long cooldowns. They also have a bounty hunter with the track, so they're going to chase you, they're going to get extra gold, they're going to really snowball off it. So it just takes like one really bad fight, where you don't get that much value out of your ultis for Na'Vi, and suddenly the walls come tumbling down. But on the other hand, if they do get good fights with their ultis, like that's very big this game, definitely. And if Morphling gets farmed in this game, it's going to be very difficult to control.
Well, what do we see from our laning step? It will be Na'Vi putting General in the safe lane, going aggro trial, and perhaps it's the panel suggested, but on the EG side, similar thing. I feel like Na'Vi should probably expect this. RTZ plays more in the quote-unquote off lane than he does safe lane these days. Na'Vi do make a point to kind of hide their lanes in some ways. Crystallize is actually going mid, so no, it isn't not what we quite expected. Dendi is going to a side lane, while Crystallize plays a mid morph lane. He missed his block though. Crystallize, I believe, was AFK there. Awkward.
I wonder if... They put the Morphling mid because he can farm you and he's not going to be able to get killed at all. Where does that put the Task? Task is just going to be helping the off lane.
It's an offlane death prophet in a sense. We're kind of looking. I feel like the offlane has become a much safer lane in some ways. You've got the side pull to work with. We're seeing a lot of teams, EG particularly, just sending their main carrier, TZ in this case, to that lane. So see how things develop there. But yeah, first wave in the mid gets mostly last half hit by the Viper. Not easy lasting under the tower, as Crystallize didn't actually block, which is one of those weird things in the mid lane where one of the waves starts underneath the tower. And similarly, Crystallize only getting 2 of the last hits for himself at the start.
I think the action lane is probably going to be the bot lane. I think once Sand King has level 2, they'll probably try and make a kill somewhere.
Seeing bounty coming. Dendi versus Sumail. I feel like a year ago that's something normal to say, you know, Dendi versus Sumail. And we're seeing it, just not in the normal lane you'd expect.
Yeah, it's not like Quap vs Puck, it's Sand King Death Prophet.
Sand King Death Prophet in the side lane. Sumail, lots of regen, stout shield. He should be able to hold his own pretty well hit. Nice shot's going to miss from LeBron. Seeing that it is LeBron actually playing the Tuscan Lil on the Shadow Demon. Speaking of players and roles here in this game number 2.
Yeah, I guess Shadow Demon's a hero that's not really in the meta, so it's possible you have a hero players not as confident on it.
Very low. Does have a salve. toxic charges, which he will start going through to sustain in this lane. Sumail with the early point in Caustic. He's still got his salve, so definitely a good start for EG. Looking at last hits, 8 CS to the 3 now CS of Dendi in this bottom lane, as well as a salve advantage. Sumail still having his. Very good safe lane, it looks like, for EG. Even the other side lane, the off lane, the new safe lane for RTZ, going very well in terms of farm for the Luna.
And it's, what concerns me a bit is that Na'Vi, what they have adjusted, it seems, is that, you know, General's going to get a little bit more early on, but Andy's going to struggle in this game, I think, to get this value in the lane. I do expect that Sumail and Misery go for a kill sometime soon in this lane as well.
That's a hero that's very vulnerable. Like, you look at a Morph mid and you're like, yeah, this is the main carry, maybe a hero you want to shut down, but it's not a hero that's easy to gank or deal with. And it is, of course, the exposed Death Prophet who you may focus more on. Na'Vi look to do mid. They have got an Invis Shadow Demon, but it doesn't look like, yeah, they're not going to get anything out. Fairly passive laning stage so far, but definitely one where EG are getting the better as far as the last hits go.
Yeah, we're getting to the level 3s. I think both the side lanes, EG might go for a kill around level 3. They could potentially, if Luna's got 1 or 2 loosened beams, they could chase down the tide. Sand King definitely with the stun.
No, Misery just go for a pull, and top lane, like you say, the tide perhaps maybe the more exposed one with the potential double, triple loosened beam and crit on the Rubik, also able to pull them back in out of position. So Morphling farming well, but not amazing. It doesn't feel like this mid lane is a free farm lane for him. Not a lane we're going to necessarily see action in, but it does feel like this is the hero that Na'Vi looking to win the game around. Morphling. Not the, I mean, as much as they've got those 2 big ultimates, it's the Morphling who is going to be playing that kind of 1v5s carry.
Yeah, and they'd hope that the Morphling is keeping up in form with the Luna, which it isn't quite. It's a little bit behind. Not the end of the world, but they don't want this to be a trend in the game.
Sure. Do you think any big moves are going to happen anytime soon? You mentioned level 3s. It seems like even with that, neither team going too aggressive. Oh, no, I say that, Na'Vi, here we go. LeBron's come in. That's a nice shot block potentially on Fear. It does get the snowball to fold up. TP coming in as well. Crit is there with the lift. They get the first blood though. Na'Vi claiming it with the waveform through. Crystallize getting the last hit, and LeBron going to go for the TP out. Misery was waiting for a potential retreat. This speaks to this game when Misery is not leveling up Shuriken Toss on Bounty Hunter. This is like a courier sniping Bounty Hunter build in my eyes. Something I think Z-Freak do from time to time. It's definitely a build where it's like, okay, we're not getting kills. You're playing a 5-position kind of bounty too, so you don't really have much mana to support Shuriken. You're just hoping to find a courier.
Yep, and that's what he's doing. Lurking around, hoping to see if he can find a courier. He realized, I mean, he was harassing bots, but then Dandy started playing extremely passively, and so he thought, well, might as well walk somewhere else.
Courier going top. Hopefully just scout it going to a lane, so even if he just snipes on the way back, it's still decent for him. But yeah, he is eagerly awaiting some item to be delivered to this mid lane, which is not really the case. I believe he'll get eyes on it, and yeah, he's seen it now. He's going to see it going to the mid lane. This should be an easy pickup for Misery. Invis has plenty of duration left on it.
Yeah, this is the crazy thing about this hero. Oh!
Wow, 2 health. I thought he'd not one-shot it. Needs like a branch.
You usually do. Yeah. It's just because his damage 51 to 65, he probably did 51.
Yep. He got RNG. Yeah, I've never actually seen the Bounty Hunter not one-shot the courier with this build, but maybe perhaps he's often, like you say, the RNG or it's having a branch or something would have made a difference there.
Well, they're gonna go on the tight ends now, and I think he's probably in big trouble here.
Perhaps had a moment where he could have gone for a TP out after the first Lucent Beam lift, but he didn't go for it and does end up going down. May have died anyways while he's TPing, which would be a terrible outcome if you don't have a TP on respawn. He goes down, EG get their first kill of the game as things continue to go well for them in terms of farm. Not going well is the mid lane. Fear, kind of deja vu of the last game, getting dual lane, tri-lane, punished, left alone. His team much more focused on the side lanes, and it has been the recipe for EG's success. Fear goes down again, but I think that's something that, much like last game, Fear is not going to be all too worried about.
Yeah, it's a smart way to adapt, to be honest, because most teams these days, they just spend time with their supports in the mid lane. So if you have a hero you don't care as much about, put them in.
TP back in, he's maybe in some trouble up top. Lifted in the Bounty Hunter. Here comes the TP of the Shadow Demon. That may be enough to scare them off. General still chewing his way through trees. Probably wants, yeah, gets the salve off. Gonna get him back in fighting shape and perhaps scare EG back. They're still going in, wanting this Tide Hunter here. The Banish going to be used on the Luna, who will be pressed back, and his Misery on the bounty hunter getting very low. Barely gets the invis off on time, and there's no detection for Na'Vi to do any further damage to him.
Have you seen the mid lane? Viper's getting vipered now.
This is, I guess, the way you play this matchup, although you probably don't want to take those tower shots. Okay. We're playing 1v1 mid mode. Bottom lane, Death Prophet looking to do some damage to Sumail. Not the case, but yeah. Got a 1v1 Viper mid as Crystallize goes in once again, waveforming forward, trying to harass Fear out of this lane. Misery is coming. And this is Lil though. Lil gets the disruption. Thanks to a nice ward that actually gave vision in the trees. Fear thought he was in fog there. But luckily for him, the bounty hunter shows up and it will be a trade. Bounty gets the kill on the Shadow Demon, but Lil getting the kill first on Fear. Doesn't bot Sumail. Dead. This time they do get him. Dandy with the phase boots and with the help of LeBron finds a kill there. No dust needed, even though he does have it on the Tusk now.
But the same thing we saw in the last game, we see EG killing the offlane tower. First tower to go down in the game. It is going to open up that part of the map, because now same situation. Now he's got 3 cores and only 1.
He just got bounty mid. Sentry was there, caught I think a glimpse of him, and Misery be brought down. Lil getting the last hit. Crystallize not able to quite time that one. I imagine he would have wanted it. Yeah, you're saying, yeah. So they get the tower. It feels like EG, you know, winning the farm, getting the towers, even though Na'Vi getting the kills.
Yeah, and that's more important than momentum, actually, I think, at this stage, in terms of taking over the control of the map. The one difference this game is because General's playing a Tide and not a Tiny. Maybe he survives these ganks, I say that, and oh, Eclipse has something different to say about the matter.
Yeah. More than happy to use it for a solo kill. It is a core in the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, well,
TZ continuing to do very well, farm-wise.
Familiar scenes, as both games seems Na'Vi just kind of like sacking their safe lane and...
Yeah, and Na'Vi roaming more with their supports, finding more pickoffs, particularly in the mid lane, but ultimately not winning the economy battle, because it is a 2k plus gold lead for EG despite being down on kills. And even if you take that tower away, EG would still have more farm even without the tower.
I mean, I guess the bottom line is EG decide that the person they're going to sack is Fear, and that's what they want, and that's what Na'Vi play into, whereas Na'Vi are sacking General, and I don't think that is what they want, you know, in these games, and so it... Actually, yeah, he's switched sides now, he's going bot with Dandy, and makes me wonder, are they just going to go for a tower with the Exorcism, or is Dandy going to move?
The adjustment to me and the difference is they put a player in hero mid that can carry and win them the game. That's the adjustment. They still said we're going to just focus on this lane and keep killing Fear. Okay, that's not what you want. That hero that was supposed to win you the game is now dying in the top lane. But the idea is very much that this Morphling is a kind of 1v5 style carry that can win you the game alone. And they're hoping that by getting enough kills on mid, perhaps he can carry them.
I'm pretty sure they sent Morphling top thinking he's the one who won't die. And then he walks in, doesn't even get his wave off.
Doesn't use... Did he just steal that one? Yeah, you betcha. Rubik comes in, steals the Exorcism. Sumail being chased down now as well. Doesn't have a burst strike. He's just going to go for the epicenter. Does not even get it off as Dandy. Nice move towards his mid lane. It's something that Na'Vi didn't do too good of a job of in game 1 was taking objectives and pushing towers. They're going to try to do that just here. With the Exorcism used, they want to at least get this tower low. If not, bring it down. Problem is, EG have heroes nearby. This stolen Exorcism from the Rubik going to be thrown out here. Crit, perhaps worried about dying, and yeah, he'll go down. Nice Ravage to burst him before the Exorcism does too much, but it is still a Ravage use, and now that's Na'Vi with 2 big ultis committed. Perhaps in a vulnerable position to EG, who could look to just, you know, go take some towers of their own. Those are the 2 big ultis we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about this, and I don't think their plan was to use Ravage and Exorcism to kill a Rubik. Like, I don't think that's the value that they need.
Yeah. They didn't even get the tower. That's the big thing, too. Those towers can open up a lot of space if you get them.
Crystallize is getting a little bit of space in that top lane now. He's got his team nearby, so he feels a bit more confident to farm.
Yep. Misery just chasing around General in the jungle, getting more info and being more of a nuisance.
Radiant are scanning.
So at this stage, I mean, this might be the last time in the game that Na'Vi don't get heavily punished when they use those ultis and don't get anything done. Because next time it's going to be like Dagger and Sand King, you're just going to push the towers, you're going to force fights. We're not quite there yet, so EG are kind of happy to just
use it to farm. Yeah, TZ spent the time, well, the last minute or two, just farming his jungle, farming Ancients, so... It does seem like, you say, the ulti cooldowns right now aren't going to punish Na'Vi, but next time it will definitely matter, and next time they definitely want to get those towers and objectives.
And it's easy, he just keeps pulling ahead. I mean, his hero just farms faster, he can farm everywhere, he can run around really quickly.
Yep. And he's got the build for it. Has the Mask of Madness. Whereas Morphling going for the Linken's Rush. Mid lane, Fear, going to be brought down by Na'Vi, and even just getting a kill in the core while, you know, your ultis are down. Definitely something Na'Vi will be smiling about. But they still have to worry about this Luna, who is, as you say, getting out of control.
Yeah. At some point, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Fear might even be the 4 position, not even the 3. You know, it's just... he
constantly, you know, Fear, you're doing fine. I mean, Rubik isn't getting too much fun, but it does feel like, you know, it's a 2-core lineup in some ways where Fear is not one of them in some games.
I mean, I just mean, like, I think when he dies, no one in the team's like, oh man, Fear, why'd you die?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine, you tried to do something. And look at the top lane.
And the thing is, he's consistent. He never gets like outplayed or dies really 1v1 in his lanes. It's always like, oh, there's 3 heroes. Both supports are ganking Fear and killing him for the 2nd or 3rd time. Well, once again, both supports are ganking Fear.
Na'Vi are going to try bait at the top lane. They actually saw the smoke on their ward. And they've got the Ravage up here, so they're going for the bait.
The Rubik they'll find though, and I think he's just going to be left to die. He gets away from away crit. Okay, he's got Snowball on top of him. That's going to get at least close, if not... No, it doesn't reach him, so that's not going to be a kill. And EG perhaps get away with a little bit there, as Fear even taking the tower mid. It's something EG are just so good at, taking objectives and forcing lanes while farming. They are not a team that plays for kills in the early to mid game. They're not a team that plays for kills at all. They play for that like one fight that's going to get them a lane of racks.
Na'Vi actually rotates 3 heroes into that lane. Oh, Morphling at the top lane. This time might be okay.
You go for the TP out, but there is cancels. I was about to say that is a very ambitious TP. As Crystallize trying to juke his way out of this one, he's not going to be lucky as Crit gets the waveform through to kill him off. Diakuri, meanwhile, gets killed off again by the pesky bounty hunter. Seems like his one role in this life is just to hunt couriers, and it does feel like Na'Vi's starting to fall apart a bit as another kill gets claimed. Sumail with a Blink Dagger is going to bring down Lil Shadow Demon. May not have a good escape here as he does get surrounded by 3 Na'Vi heroes, but perhaps not a death he's going to worry about too much, if it's even a death. The Ravage used just to stop a TP. They even planted a ward. That's... Oh, sure, Sumail is not going to be much like some of Fear's deaths. That's one of those things where you're like, well, that's actually okay for us. That's good for us.
Yeah, and Na'Vi really being shoved around last game. At least the gold was kind of even though the momentum was against them, but now they're pretty far behind in terms of the net worth as well. And gonna go top and try and do something to it's easy, but I don't think there's really much. It's just gonna slow it down. But
perhaps with this exorcism, waveform away from Crit, he's still trying to juke his way out of this one, but will not be so lucky to survive. Will be lucky enough to save his carry.
Opposite side of map, General's gonna die.
The trades always seem to be there for EG. Whether it's kills, towers, even just farm. At no point does it feel like when Na'Vi are getting a kill, are they gaining ground on EG. They've yet to take a tower, and we're 15 minutes in with a Death Prophet and Tide Hunt. Not that Tide's a pushing hero, but in a sense with a Death Prophet, the idea is you do push towers when you have those 2 big ultimates.
Yeah, I think it's because of the map equilibrium. This is something that Blitz talks a lot about. That EG's got this Luna and the Sand King that are pushing in the side lanes all the time. And what it means is that Na'Vi have to always like chase them around, like follow them somewhere, maybe follow them Morphling somewhere. They don't get to
Sumail, epicenter. They want to burst down the Morphling. Can he morph in time? No siree, misery. Shuriken to finish it off. No Lincolns for some time in this morph. Look at his net worth. He's
poorer than Fear. That's
that's not. I know. That comes off as an insult to Fear, but that's very much Fear's role. He's basically playing a 3-position Viper, and the enemy 1 position who got babysat mid is less farm than him. So Mizir gets scanned. Looks like he'll be chased down. He goes out of this and get dusted here by Lil. Oh, he's trying to get in the trees first. He's gonna actually go for the dust.
So what I was saying before is the problem is we were saying before that maybe something that Na'Vi can do to win this game is they can win a big team fight, but there's no way that they can force EG to take that at this stage. EG can just keep pushing in the waves, controlling the map, and
EG's just understanding of how to use the map is really being highlighted here. A free tier 2 tower top for Luna, while, okay, there's a bounty kill, but this bounty has sniped 2 couriers now, and just created enough space for Luna to get a free tier 2 tower top, while everyone on EG, all 3 of his cores farmed. That is, again, the kind of trade that just is not good for Na'Vi.
And they use the dust and a sentry to kill him. That's, you know, Usually what
That's-
Bounty Hunter does.
Yeah, the support tax that was mentioned on the panel is really highlighted. You look at this, 2.6k net with Shadow Demon, 1.8 on Tusk. Meanwhile, EG supports 4k, 3.7. Part of that, of course, being the tower gold, but more than anything, Na'Vi having to constantly spend money on dust sentries. So kind of at the end of the game on the scoreboard, if you want that, there is just a huge amount of money being spent on this detection.
And he's chasing down Sumail top lane.
Fire strike out, Sumail going to TP, and does not have the Yules yet. It gets out.
Still trying to get disrupt, couldn't get into range. They've got the Exorcism now. Na'Vi wants to do something, maybe try and get that tier 1 top. There aren't really any other timings that happen for them at this stage in the game. It's just when you have Exorcism, maybe you can make a play.
Beer's got his helm, he's got a siege creep walking around with him, so anytime he's alone like Arteezy, he'll just take towers. Or with his team. And that's something that Na'Vi have yet to be able to do themselves, is stop this split push and take towers of their own. It really is feeling like a split push game from EG. Again, they do find the Bounty Hunter. Sand King nearby, going for an epicenter. Burrow Strike, the Tusk Snowball. Gonna dodge it all, and Sumail does not want to go down here. Does Burrow Strike away from the Tusk, and will not be any casualties just yet. Tide gonna go walking in, finds Sphere on the Viper. No losses on either side, it looks like, which is perhaps a sigh of relief for both Bounty Hunter as well as Na'Vi. When that epicenter came in, that could have definitely gone a bit south for them.
Yeah, but it's Na'Vi who are actually trying desperately to make a play. They went for a smoke there and
Yes.
didn't get anything done, and now they're going to have to go back and try and reset their lanes again soon. I mean, you can see that they're frustrated about it. They're thinking... Na'Vi would like nothing more than to get a 5v5 fight, but EG are not going to give it to them.
Yeah, they are definitely frustrated by this effectively split push that is coming out. And it's not just split push, it's split push combined with the Bounty Hunter that's sitting behind tier 2, sniping couriers,
Breaking smokes.
breaking smokes, being a menace, scouting all these heroes too. So the second Na'Vi make a move to maybe gank one of the split pushing heroes, Bounty is more than likely to scout them doing it. So, and hey, this is because of all this vision they've got. It's perhaps set them a Roshan for them. They're in Roche without their course here. Luna's coming in now, but it's just crazy that EG might get away with this.
Luna's got BKB now. Like this might be one of those times where EG just all of a sudden like win a fight and go push. Because
Na'Vi seem to know it's here. They were drawing lines and see if they can get in there in time. Exorcism was used, I believe. Yeah, they took the bottom tier 1 tower, and that's why not EG went for Roche, because they saw that. Shadow Demon poured out. Be good at target here as General comes in looking for a Ravage, but don't really see a good opportunity to use it against this BKB of Luna. They're not even maybe going to need the BKB. They get the Corrosive coming out, and Fear brings him down with a Nether Toxin, as that is a dead Tide Hunter. No Kraken procs for you against a Viper. Only a very useful mechanic of EG's draft. They find a follow-up kill on the Tusk as well.
Yet another track kill. Rush goes down as well at the same time. Arteezy is very close to having double the net worth of Fertilized.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's
Bad
not,
news.
He's not like an alchemist with Grievel's Greed, or, you know, he's at a Mask of Madness. He's been farming around everywhere. Now he steals an Ancient stack as well. And I think with this Aegis and his BKB stop, they're probably just going to go high ground.
It doesn't feel like there's much stopping them. Crystallize, as a Morphling, is very useless in these fights. He doesn't have the burst damage of his Ethereal Blade. He's just not got the farm. He's got a Lincoln's a survivability item, but that's not going to allow him to fight or do anything.
They're drawing lines to show shove in the waves first.
Yeah.
They want to get the tier 2 bot, they want to shove in top, and then they're going to go for the high ground priority after.
Yep. Seems like there's not a big rush for EG. Even if this game does drag out, they well and truly have the better late game, particularly in the context of this big gold lead they have, which is going to only get bigger over time.
Yeah, the thing about EG, I mean, they don't have to rush, but this is something they like to do. They're going to choke the enemy team out. They're not going to give you time to like think about a game plan to react. So I expect that tier 2 bot is going to go down in the next minute or two.
Again, EG split across the map, Luna farming somewhere, and then several other heroes pushing out lanes like you allude to. Keep your opponents kind of push back and with limited options, and very much the case right now for Na'Vi.
There's that smoke. They're probably going to catch General if he doesn't go back right now.
Luna's level 3 ultimate now, just hit level 18. Perhaps what EG were waiting for before making that big move. Dendi in the jungle. Oh, he may be the target now. The blink into the left. There's the Eclipse coming out. The Yules will buy a little bit of time, but definitely not enough for the Death Prophet, who does end up going down with the Tusk. And that will be the tier 2 tower bottom for EG, possibly even high ground here. They don't have Eclipse for it, but not sure that's going to matter.
General stuck in the side. Probably gonna have to TP out, to be honest.
Don't think he wants to necessarily go walking in from behind, but we'll see what the plan's going to be.
He's thinking about it.
Okay. Maybe. No buyback on Death Prophet. Not that you'd necessarily want to use. He's going to go creep skipping waves, it looks like. Oh no, he's just going to walk away. Siege creep is there, and I think EG is just going to get themselves a free Rax here, if anything, because there's no damage from Morph, there's no Death Prophet alive, and yeah, Tide is going to clear the next wave, but it is a uncontested bottom lane of Rax and a bigger jump in terms of gold lead for EG.
This is EG.Dota, like classic EG.Dota right now. They understand their timings, they're very clinical in executing, and they don't give you any time to look for mistakes.
I also feel like it's the classic EG in that they're so often behind on kills, but ahead in terms of the game, and very clearly ahead. This game they're up a couple of kills, but that's only a recent phenomenon. Before those 2 kills that they just got, it was 11-11, and they're a team that well and truly understands how to play Dota, not around like specific hero kills.
Yeah, I mean, Luna's got pretty much the same farm as Morphling and Death Prophet now.
Blink in, jump, nice. Ravage gonna catch all 4. Is there enough follow-up damage here? Misery trapped in an ice chance here, but it's gonna be the Death Prophet with the Exorcism coming out, gonna bring down the bounty as well as the Viper. Luna will be respawning with BKB, but without an Eclipse. I'm not sure Arteezy can fight his way out of this one. Epic Forest Strike! All 4 and Na'Vi have melted, and EG surely have secured this game at this point. It's gonna be a second lane of Rax. GESC coming up big there with the epicenter. Absolutely destroying Na'Vi. You have to go through a lot of buybacks here. 1, 2, 3. They're coming back. They know they're going to kill Arteezy. They should be able to do so. He's just running for the enemy fountain, hoping to perhaps pick up a TP. A Blink Dagger he's got queued up. He's 100 gold short, so he can't quite do it. That would have been incredible if he got a Blink and a TP out, but it was not to be, as EG will lose the Luna, but will claim a melee Rax mid, and more or less the range Rax with 36 health points on it, and many buybacks.
3 buybacks, including both the cores. And that's, I mean, that's the best fight Na'Vi could possibly get, because Tidedancer just got Dagger. EG didn't know he had it, so he got the best possible Ravage off.
Yep.
They still weren't really able to win the fight. So, I mean, this actually feels so much like the previous game, where we see the round of fights which has buybacks in it, and last time what happened is kind of like next round is the final round.
Yeah, the Na'Vi lose a really badly a fight where they had to commit buybacks but still barely hang on, and then we will see that finishing blow. If EG really want, they can wait for ages, but I don't even think they need to do that. I mean, they took that fight and push without having an Eclipse, because that was used earlier at the Shrine to get those couple of kills, but if EG do want to slow it down, there's Shrines they can take. That's something we saw them kind of be a bit more disciplined about last game, where it's like, oh, let's not go push without our ultimates, let's just take Shrines. This time around, I feel like Na'Vi are like, EG are like, yeah, we're so far
Misery
ahead.
is in no man's land, behind enemy lines.
It's bounty things. He's, you know, look at these wards he's got in the enemy base. Maybe not just from that trip then, but it feels like the vision he's got doesn't really matter.
The one good thing for Na'Vi is that because Luna is such a high level, she took really long to respawn, so Tide's actually got Ravage again. That's
what you're saying is they should hope this Luna gets level 25 is what I'm hearing.
They need her to be even stronger. That's
man, when that's the go-to good news for Na'Vi, I think you've got to be.
I mean, at least they don't have to fight without Ravage. Like,
that's true. Yeah, the Luna respawn time almost kind of matches up to the Ravage. Not quite.
Dire's top
But
shrine is under
this
attack.
Luna getting out of control. Level 21 has a Lincoln queued up. We'll see. He's gonna get that. There we go. Stats focusing on the shrines. Gonna take down the top one.
Has fallen.
Don't really think they want to go for the bottom one alone with Luna, but may see them spending several heroes down there. And they have got the Alpha Wolf in the Roche pit, so perhaps suggesting they'll just, you know, play this one very safely and securely. At this point, there is, in my eyes, very little way Na'Vi can move out of their base, which means contesting Roshan's kind of off the menu. Bounty's going to always scout them out, pop a smoke. And EG at this point with an Aegis and Cheese, I don't see them failing a high ground push.
Luna died last fight twice, in fact. So it's like, I guess the only way Na'Vi do it is they all jump on Luna before she gets BKB off Ravager and just unload everything on her. That's
yeah. EG do not have that like kind of insta save necessarily. They can kind of use they've got a Barrow Strike on someone and telekinesis, but it's not like they've got the disruption or the snowball.
And that's why what EG did last game as well. And I think they're just being clinical. They're like, well, we'll just wait for the Aegis. Like get another rush, get Aegis, then it's pretty much impossible for things to go wrong.
Mail's part of Trask. 50 gold. That's one of those times you rarely see in a Sand King that is very much a kind of, you know, this game feels won. We don't need anything. I just want to stay alive, and health will do that for me.
That's a good. I like the mentality of EG. I like that they're extremely far ahead, but they're willing to be patient and just, play by the book, make sure about it in every single game, regardless of how
Yeah, I think for like the spectators out there are like, oh, EG, why aren't they just ending the game? Or it's very much like if they went for the top rack to end the game now, it's like, maybe let's say 95 to 98% chance they just win the game and it's over there. But by waiting for Aegis, it's 99.9% chance they're winning the game by getting Aegis and cheese.
And why not? Why not just do absolutely everything to make sure you win? That's kind of what a competitor should be doing.
Yep. Got a gem on Tide Hunter. I think Na'Vi just have to throw everything out they can at this point and hope to find some more picks. And EG will continue to patiently wait for that Roche respawn. Alpha Wolf scouting it out. We'll see that Roche respawn in just a second, and it will be a pretty long one.
We're talking about EG showing maturity, but it feels terrible to be in Na'Vi's position. Like,
yeah, these games. Well, if you for any whether you're core or support, these games are particularly bad as support. But when you're this Morphling and you're like, I've missed my item timings by a huge amount.
Can't farm, I can't leave the base. I know exactly what they're doing. They're waiting for rush, and I also can't do anything about that.
I think you also feel like, even if I magically had my Ethereal Blade now, what do I do? Who do I kill? Nullfield. You kill the bounty. That's who you kill this game. Is the one hero that feels like you can kill now is the bounty. Hot on Sumail. Here, tanky with the corrosive Luna BKB, as well as Lincoln's. Whew. Tough ass for Na'Vi, but they will hold on. This is a big game in terms of points being on the line, as well as much easier road to the finals if you take the win here, and Na'Vi will not give up just like that.
Yeah, win this match and you're straight into the top 4.
I think the win condition kind of, well, for Na'Vi, let's not talk win conditions. Let's look one fight at a time. I think the death prop with level 3 ultimate does offer a lot of damage output. If Na'Vi do not burst Dandy during that ultimate and fight into it, Na'Vi do have some seriously good damage output in their team fight.
But Arteezy has to die.
Yes.
They're smoking around. The Aegis is not yet there. They haven't yet rushed, and
it's just a tough spot. You don't know when Roche comes back up if you're in Na'Vi shoes. And here comes Dendy. He's going to scout out Lil. He goes down before the fight even breaks out. He can't disrupt Dendy as well. Those illusions would have been great, but the Lincolns will block it. Do Na'Vi still fight this one? Yep, they're going in. Death Prophet goes in with the excess, and Tide needs to get out of the silence, and he does do so. They're going to try burst down the Luna. They succeed with the Ravage. Install a crit, turns it around. The buyback from Arteezy. They're going to wipe Na'Vi. 3 down. Exorcism from Dendy doing what it can, but he's going to go down eventually. It doesn't look like there's an out for him. There's Misery tracking everyone up. The silence from Dendy. He's still alive somehow. Fear chasing him down will eventually clean up Na'Vi, who GG out. A valiant last effort.
Arteezy's spamming sorry because he had so much time to BKB and he just didn't use it. So,
well, I'm surprised he actually went down there after the Ravage, but whew, a very dominant win for EG.